Welcome to LawNextPR, the podcast where we put a spotlight on the latest news coming out of the legal tech industry. This is Bob Ambrogi, and in each sponsored post of LawNextPR, I interview a legal tech company about its latest news and developments. Today, we're talking about the launch of MedChron from Filevine, a solution designed to automate the creation of medical chronologies and summaries for attorneys handling complex medical and injury cases. And joining me today to tell us about it are three people from Filevine, starting with Ryan Anderson, the founder and CEO. Ryan, welcome.
Great to be here, Bob.
And I'm also joined by Brianna Connelly, Vice President of Data Science. Brianna, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And last but not least, Jonas Kratochvil, Vice President of ML Initiatives. Jonas, welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Ryan, why don't we start with you in terms of giving us a little bit of an overview of what it is you've announced here and why you developed this product in the first place.
Yeah, thanks so much, Bob. So lawyers that use Filevine, many of them, not all of them, but a large percentage of our customer base are either personal injury lawyers, and now a good percentage are actually insurance defense lawyers. So the managing of medical records across, again, complex cases can be quite challenging. I've often said that it's not so much the evidence you know about that is going to hurt you in a case, but the evidence you don't know about, the evidence you haven't seen. So all lawyers, I think, that practice in this area, sort of no matter which side you're on, whether you're representing a carrier or a large company or you are on the personal injury side, understanding the story of the case via the medical records is a really critical component of representing your client zealously and thoroughly. The problem is, of course, that medical records are challenging. There's a lot of them. Some cases can have thousands of pages of them. Other cases can have tens of thousands of pages. And I would say, at the high end, you can have cases with well into the, tens of thousands and maybe even 100,000 medical records. So sifting through those, understanding the signal from the noise, the important components of it, and what builds credibility for your client and maybe what takes away credibility for your client is absolutely critical. So the work of a lawyer really depends on a great MedChron. It is hugely impactful for the case. It's helpful for deposition prep. Again, no matter which side of the case you're on, you really need a MedChron to prepare for your deposition, to prepare for mediation, and obviously trial. So medical chronologies are an important point of practice for all of our customers. We have had a medical chronology product for some time. However, what we've heard from our customers is that they would like an even deeper product that is easier to use. And when we speak about AI, they want a product that is very high fidelity to the medical records. The room for error on a product like this is so small. No AI product is ever going to be perfect, but the level of accuracy matters a lot. And so we spend a bunch of time with this product to make it extraordinarily accurate and extraordinarily complete. Those are sort of the two measures we care about the most. I want to credit Jonas Kratochvil for building a team and building this product over the course of years such that it can be in place for our customers today. Of course, this comes out of our acquisition of Parrot, but this product doesn't sit in the Parrot platform. It actually sits directly inside of the Filevine platform. And I'm quite confident in telling you that this is the best MedChron available to any case management software customer. But we have also done in-depth, intense comparisons of this MedChron in both its accuracy and completeness and its usability across competitors who really focus on medical chronologies and demands. And what we found is our MedChron stacks up to be as good and in many cases better than the medical chronologies by other companies who often have human reviewers on their medical chronologies. I'll tell you that the Filevine MedChron is 100% AI. So there are no human reviewers in the Filevine MedChron. So we're really proud of it. We think it's going to help people a lot in their practice. And we're excited to announce that for anybody who purchases the product, if you're an AI customer, you already get it. It's just part of the AI package that we already sell. So no added cost for any customer of ours who's already an AI customer. If you're not an AI customer, of course, we'd love to have you. But I think that's sort of the nuts and bolts of why we built the product and what we think it can do for customers. It sits on some really fun, exciting pieces of technology that I think are pretty new to the industry. So I'll let Brianna Connelly, who's our Vice President of Data Science, talk about that a little bit, but we're very excited.
Brianna, I know that you were involved in bringing this to market. I mean, what were some of the sort of challenges and technology required in order to incorporate this into Filevine?
Yeah, of course. So our AI users at Filevine upload over 180 million pages into the Filevine platform every month. That's an enormous amount of data curation. And so really the first step we knew we needed to understand what was being uploaded and then start to automate that. So We implemented a model called document classification, where we have over 150 different types of document classifications that we label documents. They can be large, they don't have to be all chunked up or pre-processed by the actual uploader. And really, that's kind of the first step. Is no document that gets uploaded to the case management software is pointless. And to Ryan's earlier point, you want to know what's in there, and you don't want to have to go dig and exclusively find and tag every document you have. It's just overwhelming. So this is really, Doc Class is meant to really allow users to feel confident that we're managing that kind of tag for people. So this is a MedRec. Now it can go through a process of automation and task flows within Filevine that you don't have to manually click, drag, or sift through thousands and in some case millions of documents as you work through your caseload. So that was a really fun piece of the back end of this. And what really makes the MedChron product by Filevine shine is you don't have to go pick list your medical records. They will automatically be tagged as a medical record and then sent to the MedChron product. So you're really just able to see the output instead of more manual curation. That's really where we're in the space and see the most benefit for our clients, is helping them with the enormous curation that's happening on their end.
So if I recall, so the document classification was something that was already in Filevine, right? Do I have that right? Or is it something you just developed? No.
So
Yeah.
it's been a sleeper for about the last 6 months, and we've developed some absolute cornerstone products during that time. Depots by Filevine, chat with your case within Filevine. So it's been in the background, and really with this acquisition and bringing on this beautiful, beautiful MedChron that Jonas and team created, we were able to just say, hey, we know what the medical records are. And so we were able to dovetail that existing, like behind the scenes, under the hood product into this so that clients could have a really automated experience. It was really important for us because now, again, clients don't have to sift through medical records. I mean, imagine the load for a paralegal or an attorney or anybody on staff to have to go through their doc records and say, check, 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 every single med rec to try to get it over to this new awesome product. It was just an easy lift. So it's been behind the scenes for a while. And really, this is its big debut into the front end with the MedChron. So super excited.
Cool. Jonas, what can you tell us about what you developed here and how it was incorporated into the Filevine platform?
Yeah, of course. The product's been under development for over a year and a half. We always like to start with attorneys from the beginning. So we very value the feedback from our clients. So we had very early adopters using the product and giving us the feedback. I think this was instrumental in a way how the product shaped and how we constructed the UI and the backend part as well. So just very high level overview of how the process works is that we get these PDFs on input. We first do step that we call splitting, that chunks these PDFs into standalone documents. We extract the so-called Trinity of MedChron, as we call it, which is the mandate, medical facility, and providers for each of these documents. And then finally, we do the summarization itself. We also value the verification a lot because we know AI is not perfect, can make mistakes. So providing a way for user to verify the AI outputs is something we care deeply about. So in the product, you can actually go and reference every information on level of source page all the way to exact bounding box within this page where that particular information resides. So we basically built this UI inside then Parrot, but shortly after the acquisition, I think it was really great to see the teams come together and basically the Filevine team re-implementing one by one the UI into Filevine and integrating the foundation work of the Brianna's team and our engineers scaling up the backend and the infrastructure part. So all the coordination and collaboration was very exciting to see, and it just gives me a lot of hope in what these teams can do together going forward.
You talked about the fact that there's this capacity for verification built into the product, that as you're looking at the chronology, you're able to confirm against the actual source information, source documents, as I understand it. This may be a naive question, but to what extent can attorneys be confident that all of the relevant information was brought in the first place, whether through the document classification or otherwise? I mean, if you've got voluminous trial records, can attorneys be confident that everything related to the medical chronology was appropriately incorporated into that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So from document classification, we did some old school methods. So in the new world of AI, a lot of people skip over anything more than vibes, right? Everything is so magic. They just use the LLMs and go for it. We actually built a classification model based on AI, but we use traditional data science methods of precision and recall. So we know exactly the accuracy rate of a record being tagged with a medical record ID. And we're constantly evaluating that because we have the benchmark. So we're in the high 90s, which is awesome. So you can rest assured that we are very, very accurate, especially in this world where lots of things are just vibes within, especially competitors. But we have high confidence and accuracy that the medical records are going into the platform. And then Jonas and team, I'll let him speak to it, but they have developed a really nice and iterative workflow to ensure that they're capturing the details from like almost a 360 view on each document. So I'll let him speak to that though.
Yeah, I can add to Brianna. It was the consensus between our teams that we would promote this metric we call recall, which means that we would get more documents from Brianna with maybe potential other documents than medical records. And we then have further filtering mechanisms on our side to see through this noise and to ensure that attorneys are getting all the relevant information. We build this two views to the summary. So we have this very detailed view where we really strive for completeness. So we would really want to put there as much important information as possible. This is ensured by all the AI logic that's on the backend. But then the client has also option to see this more condensed view in these bullet points, which distills down this detailed view into just much less information, giving you the flexibility to choose one or the other in however you prefer.
What about things like inconsistencies in the medical records themselves? Not that a medical record isn't included, but that in putting together the chronology, there's maybe missing tests that should have been performed, or I don't know, that sort of thing. Is there any capacity for sort of evaluating that sort of thing?
Sorry, yeah. So this is this, as we would call them, maybe missing records or gaps in the data. This is something that's not yet supported by the tool, but this is something that we strive to build towards as we kind of progress and improve this exactly in this direction on finding these insights and gaps and missing data and maybe potentially contradictions or some irregularities. This is what the attorneys, we believe, care about. So this is where the product is heading going forward.
Also, just one thing to call out there, because the UI and UX of this product is so lovely. If something is missing, it becomes so much easier for our clients to see that, to understand there's a gap because it's so nicely laid out. Before, somebody would have to be going through thousands of pages of documents. It's as good as their ability to manage and process that. You know, as humans, we're not that great at pattern recognition, not as great as machine learning is. So that's what really where the UI of this product shines, because it's so much easier to see that you had 3 months of no services or no provider visits, which is just wonderful. It makes it a lot easier. And then to Jonas's point, obviously more iteration and development to happen, but this is a night and day for somebody who's having to manage these documents manually.
Let me just throw out there to any of you, but what are other features of this that really jump out at you that we haven't had a chance to talk about?
Yeah, maybe I can speak to, I think, the benefit of having this within a larger platform. So not only do you have the ease of not having to go anywhere and select these medical records and push them to some other platform and then, go retrieve it when it's done. Obviously, that's going to save a little bit of time. But the more important component for me is our Chat with Your Case product, which is maybe one of the most exciting products we've ever built at Filevine and one of the most highly used features that we have. That tool today, right now, has the ability to take a look at the PDF output that the MedChron produces, which is really quite extraordinary. And you can actually ask it questions directly. Not only could you ask the the MedChron questions, but you could actually ask questions of the MedChron in relation to the rest of the file. Chat with Your Case has all the information in the file, not just records, not just medical records, not just documents. It has all the emails, it has all the text messages, the faxes, the notes, the tasks, the deadlines, the calendar entries, everything. And when you think about, a case file, you're talking about usually hundreds of data points and often thousands, maybe tens of thousands of individual data points that sit within your case management system. To be able to take all that data and vectorize it, embed it in our proprietary embeddings model, and then ask questions like, okay, based on this MedChron and everything else you know about this case, help our client prepare for the deposition. What are areas of weakness that might impact her credibility during the deposition? Where do you think the insurance adjuster would focus? You can actually ask that question. In fact, you could actually give Chat with Your Case a persona and say, assume you are an insurance defense lawyer reviewing this case and attempting to find weaknesses that could affect the case. What would you zero in on in the process of litigation? And Chat with Your Case will actually look at all of this, not just the MedChron, but all the information in the file and give you answers and tell you where to focus. And we've seen lawyers actually do this, yet they're kind of blown away by the results. So that's sort of the power of saying, hey, it's not just another MedChron. We do think it's the best MedChron as far as accuracy and completeness, and we think the UI is incredible. But having it in a larger platform really, I think, sets it apart in a way that we think is really distinct.
What about the security of the data? Got to ask that question. Tell me about that.
This is definitely a cornerstone of Filevine. So I don't think anybody even comes close to our posture on security, privacy, and the kind of guarantees we can provide for clients with all of our compliance regulation standards that we meet. So this extends to that. So you're not having to download and upload into another platform. There's obviously where are you sending it? Think of our good friends at OpenAI. You're not even having to upload it into their chat system. And so it really stays within your compliance regulated Filevine ecosystem. And then it follows all of our AI policies, all of our security and contract policies, so that you don't have to worry about that, right? When you're uploading documents, especially medical records to ChatGPT on the side, that's a huge risk for you and your firm. And so we can keep it all within Filevine. As Ryan said, of course, the rest of your data is there, all of your project details, your case management, your calendar, everything is inside Filevine already. But now you can feel confident using AI in a safe space without worrying about download, upload into another platform.
So you now rolled this out go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think Filevine has taken an approach towards security for a long time that has been, a really a serious one. We sell not only to large law firms, but large businesses. We have some Fortune 500 companies on the platform, but we also have attorneys general's offices on the platform. And that requires us to be very fastidious and extraordinarily thorough in our security posture. And we spend millions of dollars a year making sure Filevine is secure. And I have to think that we are amongst the top legal tech companies as far as just our spend and how seriously we take our security efforts. So it's a very big deal to us.
So, Ryan, you said earlier this is now available. It's available to any of your customers who have your AI package. Is that right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Any AI customer, which is about 20% of our customer base today, will get this for free, and it'll be part of their platform today. Maybe not today, but within days. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Anything else that you wanted to point out about this before we wrap?
No, we're excited for customers to get out, use it. Our customer base is nothing if not responsive and opinionated in all the best ways. So we can't wait to see what they say about it and continue to develop it and make it better. And just a huge thanks to the team, to Jonas, to Brianna's team. It's fun when you acquire a great company like Parrot and see them come together and work together in ways that not only make our company better, but give the client experience a level up. So just really proud of everybody.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. It sounds like a great product, and congratulations on getting it launched.
Thanks so much, Bob.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or you can find us on YouTube. Just search for LawNextPR there. And you can also find all of the latest episodes on LawNext in our Legal Tech directory under the Resources tab. This is Bob Ambrogi. Thanks for listening and/or watching us today.